Got a little breakfast of champions, some eggs, some cheese, asparagus, and toast. And also coffee before claims. I am what I am. Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to try to grout this tile that we put down yesterday. We're kind of in between jobs and waiting on material for our next one, which is a roof. And yes, it's still February, but we have somebody in town here that has a sunroom that has been leaking. Somebody had put it on years ago, and they have I think we counted like 23 buckets in there catching water, so we got to get something over it, just temporary. And so we could have done like a tarp or something, but he wanted to put a metal roof on it, so it'd be a little more, if it took him a year or so to get the sunroom tore down and rebuilt, he would have something there that he could rely on. And doing it the way we're going to do it, he'll be able to repurpose his material. So it's going to be a cold job, but that's what we do. And so we got a lot of stuff to do here at this house. Wow, there's like an echo in here now that the carpet's gone, which is really crazy to me because I've never had an echo. But yeah, we're going to work on this today. We're going to see how much of this we can get done. Got to take the son, our youngest son, to get to an eye appointment after school. So hopefully we can get this all done, because we're living with our fridge out in the middle of our walkway and our stove. We cooked, can't even get into the living room hardly. So we got moved in here a couple years ago, and we've been trying to redo everything as we can, but we're resellers, or at least try to subsidize some of our income in reselling, and we do that on a few different platforms. And then we also do construction. It's something I've always done, and as through the years it's evolved into different things, and now Tammy and I do it together. I used to travel, and now, since we're known around here, we have enough people that have been calling us to do all their work. So we just been working right around this area for the last few years, and it's been kind of nice. But when we have some free time, we try to work on this house. So we bought this tile, I don't know, it was on sale, and I think we paid like 99 cents a tile, which is pretty extreme. It looks kind of crazy, but I like it. It's definitely a lot lighter in this kitchen. We have some backsplash we're going to do back on that wall, and we have some open shelves that go on in here. And I have some 100-year-old kiln-dried white oak that was stored in a barn for at least 80 years. I found an ad online. Somebody wanted their barn cleaned out. He said 80 years of collecting. I went in and took us 2 days and about 4 loads, but I got a lot of native timbers, but I got some old barn siding, just all kinds of stuff this guy had collected in his barn for 80 years. And some of that was some 18-inch wide white oak planks that had been kiln dried. It was at the bottom of the pile. I don't have a lot of it, but I have enough to do the open shelves over here, and I think it ought to be pretty nice. We bought some cast iron brackets to put underneath them. So, a lot of stuff to do. Of course, when you're doing this stuff for a living, your work comes last, and so it always, we don't always get done what we need to, and so we kind of live in construction sometimes. But we started 2 years ago. We started with the roof. We went on to the kids' bedrooms. There's 2 bedrooms upstairs we redid, and I was able to use a lot of the original doors and things, just redid them and put them back up. And Then we went on to the bathrooms, and now we're working on this kitchen. We have this dining room. There's some more. This is all going to go to luxury plank flooring, like I said yesterday. This went to tile. So yeah, just always got stuff going on, and we try to fit it all in when we can. So join us. We've grouted before, and we kind of filmed that, so I don't think I'm going to film that. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done, but just wanted to let you know what we're working on today. So if anybody had any questions, I'm more than willing to answer any questions about construction. We do everything from the top to bottom repair, so there's not a whole lot that I'm not sure about. So if anybody's working on their own stuff and they have something that they're interested or have a question about, I'd be more than willing to answer it. Just comment below or get a hold of me somehow, and I will give you my my input on the situation, and I may be able to help you somehow. Don't know if that'll be the case, but I will tell you what I know. So we'll see you a little bit later. Looks like there's a shine right there. What is that? Oh, it's just my eyelashes. Look at that. I've got super long eyelashes. Huh. So, we'll show you what it looks like here in a little bit.
Good morning.
What are we doing today?
Grouting. Cleaning. Put stuff back.
Yeah, Tammy cleans and cleans and cleans. When you grout tile, you got to clean it about 6 or 7 times. So, she's going to go through and try to clean off any mortar that might be on the tile. I'm going to go mix grout. We're going to spread it into these seams, and then you got to clean it off 5 or 6 times. So that's the claim today. Girls want to go outside with me? You want to go outside with me? Huh? You do, don't you? You do, don't you? You guys love it outside. Come on. Let's go. A little colder today than it was yesterday, that's for sure. So, I have no idea where my grout paddle is. So we're going to go see what we can find, and if I can't find something to use, then I'll find something. I'll find something. But it's either in this shed or one of my other 3 sheds. I got tools and stuff everywhere. Sometimes it's really hard to find things. We're working on a barn. This house does not have one. That's in the plans. But there's been so much stuff to do here. Just kind of got put on the back burner. Most of our everyday tools are pretty easy to get to, but we do everything. So some of this stuff, if we haven't done it for a year, it could be anywhere in here. Oh. So. All right, well, I didn't have anything in that shed. Let's go see if we can find it in another. We had a barn at the other house we lived in, so all this stuff got moved to sheds. This is all more mechanical stuff. Go on, girls. Go on out. Not seeing anything I can use in here. I have a workshop and a shed over at another property too. We don't have anything in that one yet. That one we just picked up. So we have 3 sheds here plus this van. This is our old work van. Yeah, it's full of stuff too. I thought maybe that was it, but that's not it. I might be able to use it though. Let's see what's in there. Yeah, that'll work. This is an old sander, but all I really need is this all I need is that rubber pad right here. Kind of push the grout down into the line, so this will work. I'll just take these metal things off and mix the grout up, and we'll use this to paddle it down into the seams. So yeah. Can't wait to go kayaking. We always enjoy that. And I'm stacking up stuff to build a barn. That's the old barn that was here. These are the native timbers. Used to be a barn there. It ended up over there in the trees. The wind blew it away. We tore it all apart. But I'm going to build a barn over there. We used to have a manufactured house that sat there. Tammy's brother had one. I think they're the ones that poured the concrete. This was her childhood home that we're living in. And so to utilize that concrete over there, we're actually going to build the barn over that and then extend the concrete out over to the driveway. So there'll be a barn there. And eventually we'll build a barn back there for animals. At least that's the dream. Watch this dog. Round him up, B. Round him up. She got blue heeler in her. Round him up, B. Round him up, B. Alright, good girl, good girl. Come on. Come on, B. Good girl. Come on. Let's go. Good girls. There's our stick handrail. We made it out of pine trees we cut down around there. That's what we do. We're artistic on our stuff. We have a lot of fun with our stuff because I know how things work, but people, they want the traditional things, and we do all that too. But when we work on our own stuff, we got to be creative. So you just follow the directions on the grout bag. We've done it numerous times, but it is a lot of mixing and then waiting and then mixing and then waiting and then putting it on and then waiting and then taking it off and then waiting and then taking it off again. But this you can walk on after 4 hours, so tonight we should be able to put our kitchen back together, which would be nice. We'll still have baseboard and some other things to do maybe, but might be able to function a little better. Now we went with Power Grout by TEC Tech. It's stain proof and fast drying, but it's also embedded with the sealant that you need. Lifetime. Most grout, and people may not know this, but they have to be resealed every few years. They have an applicator that does that. With the power grout, you don't have to do that ever. So it does cost a little bit more, but it's going to help you in the long run. Plus it's stain proof, it says, not even resistant, but there it says on the side, it says stain resistant, and here it says stain proof. So we've used it before. This color I've never used. It's called Raven. It's going to be almost black, but we decorate with a lot of like cast iron and black things everywhere, and all of our colors are gray. Apparently there's 40 or 50 shades of gray, and Tammy wants to use them all in this house. So that's the plan. And as always, coffee before claims. So there's the color premix. Oh, there's our robin and hummingbird egg we found outside of our house. They've both been hatched. We found them on the ground. And these are hummingbird nests that have blown out of the trees here. We have a lot of hummingbirds around here we feed. And they come and see us. They'll buzz right at our head even when we're sitting out on the porch. So, but just saw those. This is the color before we mix it. I have the water in this bucket. This bucket's the old mortar. I bought pre-mixed mortar to do this, so you can do a little bit at a time. You don't have a certain time frame to do it. It did cost a little more, but it was worth it for me, especially since I bought it with rebates. So we're going to dump this into this bucket. We're going to get it mixed up, start applying it. So here's what it looks like. We had just enough. We got the grout in all the cracks, and you got to let it sit for a little bit and then wipe it off and clean and clean and clean. So looks awful dark right now. I think it's going to dry to that light gray color that it's drying to. So we'll see what it looks like when we get it all cleaned up. So I got this letter in the mail today dealing with Facebook. It says, Facebook, one hacker way. Horrible name for Facebook. They're saying that they're sending me a unique code to confirm my identity on Facebook. We sent you this letter because you recently requested authorization to run ads about social issues, elections, and politics. Thanks, the Facebook security team. What is that? I can't even get a hold of anybody on Facebook. But yet HackerWay is going to send me a code so I can talk about social issues and elections and politics. Not my cup of tea, but apparently if I put in this code that HackerWay sent me, I can do all that stuff. Sounds fishy to me. Tammy's doing her thing. It looks almost black when it's wet, but you see the gray there where it's dry? The gray when it's dry matches the gray that's in these circles, the little darker gray. I don't know if you can get it. See how the center of the circle is a little darker? So that kind of matches that. So I think when we mop it, it'll be real dark black, but when it's dry, it should be that gray, dark gray color. Which we went dark because no stains or anything like that. You don't have to worry about it. Which is stain proof anyways, so we could have went lighter, but this was one of the shades of gray we haven't used yet, and we're trying to use all 50 in the house. So
We don't want to use this dark on the wall.
And we don't want to use this dark on the wall. So
Probably would have been okay in here, but the other rooms are too dark. For that dark gray. On the floor, it's alright.
looking good. First wipe down's coming along. About 3/4 of the way done. I like the way it's looking. So that's what she's got left. barefoot hillbilly queen over there. Huh?
I got little toe prints everywhere.
Toe prints everywhere. Tammy's going for round 2. We'll wipe it all down and we let it set. Maybe one more cleaning after this. Sometimes it takes a few times. Tammy's got this down pretty good. She'll probably have 3. Maybe 4. But we used to wash it 5 or 6 times before it was good enough. But she's gotten really good at this. So if it's your first time, it takes you more than one time. Don't feel bad about it. It used to take us a lot to do this. So looks a little darker than I wanted. I don't know if it's because it's not dry yet. It's going to be all right either way. But we'll have to see hours from now when it all dries and sets up like the dark gray that was thinner. And we'll see what it looks like. But I think it looks all right either way. Too late to change it now. Corbin's going to get his eyes checked. His eye's been hurting, so we're here at the eye doctor to check it out. So there we go. That's what it looks like all finished. Walking around on it. I love how the patterns go this way, and then you got this pattern, and then you got the tile pattern itself. So there's like so much going on. I always got everything else to do. These are the backsplash tiles. Oh, I think I got the one open. See how well they look with this. Of course, they'll be up above. So that's the backsplash, and I don't know if we're going to do that pattern to mimic the circles, or if we're going to do that pattern to get crazy. Which, if you do more, you'll have both patterns. So you'll kind of have both patterns. But the main pattern will be this one. And then if we flip them around, see, if we do it like that, this is the pattern, and these are obscure. And I haven't decided what we're going to do yet, but I think we're going to go with this one. Not real sure. That pattern right there. But I also like the other one with the little circle in the middle. So, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? Comment below. Did you like this video? You see that like button? Go ahead and push it. And subscribe so you stay up to date with all of our adventures. So until next time.
Peace, everyone.
Later, y'all.